It is the 31st of July. This is Rabbi Furst, Mishna Berura.
So to the butcher shop, and I was impressed with the sawdust on the floor. Why was there sawdust on the floor? Because the chickens would be wet from the soaking, and they don't want to slip, so you had sawdust on the floor. You don't find that anymore, right?
Right. Everything.
Yeah.
My rabbi even said to me, he said, if you went to one slaughterhouse, you'd be a vegetarian for about 3 months, and then you'd say, I want to see nice white styrofoam with clear plastic, and that's how I want to see my meat. So I was impressed with all that. But yes, that was so. The sawdust wasn't to cover the blood; it was so you wouldn't slip. Okay.
No, no, yeah, that was for the water. The blood was in the back. The blood was in the black. Yeah.
So I don't know the rabbi 10 gold pieces for kicking it out his blood one day. Okay.
Okay, I guess we can start again. Okay, we're the record is on, Lou.
Yep.
Okay, we're our second shir this morning. Rabbi Shlomo Furst here, Yeshiva Tzamanav here, Yerushalayim care of Zoom. Mr. Brewer, the Chelik base in the Mr. Brewer Shulchan Orach Chaim Siman Kuf Samech, and I believe we are picking up from Sif Yud. Is that true?
Yes, good.
Okay. Yeah. Is that right, Mayor?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Yeah.
Right.
Who would like
Good.
to volunteer? Any volunteers to do a bit of reading for us the second shir?
Good.
Now, you might think that a lot of these things are not really too relevant, but as I said, like earlier on, people didn't have the advantages that we have. We're blessed tremendously in all many different ways. One of those blessings that Hashem is blessing us with, we have plumbing in the houses and fresh water coming in and drain water going out. And so the water that we use is in general going to be very, very highly aesthetic. And as I once asked, this is already years ago, but I asked my pediatrician when we had our first son, when can I start giving our newborn tap water to drink? He says, oh, when he's about 6 months old, you can give him tap water to drink. You don't have to worry about the tap water. Just fine. So that wasn't always the case. To get water, fresh, healthy water was not an easy thing at all. And many of the things that are relevant and necessary for the water that you use for the Netilas Yadayim, we're talking about Netilas Yadayim for Hamotzi primarily, and also for Perus fruits if they happen to be wet as well. When you have to do a halachically valid washing of the hands. So here we're in Sif Yud of again Siman Kuf Samech. Yeah. Mary, you like to read?
Okay, let me try. It says, Notlim liyadayim b'chol davar shetechilato min hamayim. Okay, so one can do Netilat Yadayim with anything that starts from water. Kigon, for example, Yavchushim, the Peru, Tolaim, that's worms. Tolaim.
Right, worms.
Wow.
Right. Yeah, you're astounded, right? You're astounded that people would be using water that has worms in it, right?
Yeah.
As I said, that's not
שלנו.
יש לי שיר עכשיו.
סליחה, מתי אפשר לדבר איתך?
עוד 10:30.
10:30.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, but you're astounded. But when they would store water in barrels, wooden barrels, and such like this, or they take water from rivers, take water from cisterns. So worms that's part of life. You know, we don't see it, but they're there, and you have to be careful. I mean, the halachas about lavim, about eating and drinking these kind of things as well. But here we're talking about washing your hands with it, right? So here, noten li yadayim b'kol davar she tfilaso min hamayim kigoni tushim teloyim odumim o shumin dag.
Or fish oil.
That's yeah, fish oil, right?
Wow. Okay, v'nir'eh davka im raskan de lo adif misheleg. What, and it appears davka specifically if I'm not sure what riskan is.
So the risuk is like puree. If you want to go to the supermarket and get the tomato puree, you'll ask them for risuk on ganviot, right?
Oh, okay. So
Risuk
that's
is
sort of like
puree.
crushed.
Crushed, right? Crushed
Yeah.
or yeah, exactly.
Okay. Shadif that is
Lo adif
still
Michelle.
from snow. Oh, that's
Right,
still
it's
from
not-
snow.
Right. It's not going to be any better than it's coming from snow. Let's take a we need an explanation of what this is all about. Let's see the Mishnah Berura.
Okay, Yud Mem Gimel. She tachilato min hamayim. That it starts from water. Rotzel Omar shetechilat beriato min hamayim.
Right. And these worms that we're talking about, they originated their source of life began in the water, right?
Oh,
There could be some insects that wouldn't be like that, but there are certain worms apparently that their source of life begins with and in the water. They could be so small that you don't notice them until they're grown, and then they appear when they're in the water.
okay. Let's see. Mem Dalid. Yavchushim adumin. These are these red, I guess, worms.
Worms.
Yavchushim,
Worms, right.
yes. Okay. Shenitchavu min hamayim. That they come from water, or have come from the water, I guess. Okay. The ein bazeh mishum shinui mar'eh. And they don't the ein bazeh. And it's not this because they change in appearance.
There's no change in the color of the water because of them, right?
Oh,
For whatever reason, there's no change. Because remember, we learned previously, right? If there's going to be a change in the color of the water, that's going to invalidate the water for washing your hands, right? That was
Right.
one of the things was mentioned in the Mishnah Berura previously in the earlier Mishnah Brewers. So also toward the end of Sif Base. So yeah, we want to make sure that whatever we're washing with, it's not going to change the water's color.
okay. So let's see. She'ikar techilat gedulo kachaya. Okay, because initially
It's
they grew.
primary.
Primarily
she-
they grew, I guess,
Yeah,
from
right.
from this kachaya that they were.
Right. So now to get a little more background about this, if you notice the Sharat Sion in Sifkat and Mem Zion, take a look there in Sifkat and Mem Zion in the Sharat Sion toward the bottom of the page.
Okay, I see. Okay, Mem Zion. Mitam ze'ein anu chosheshim gam kain b'ma she'eino ra'oi ze l'shtiyat behema. Okay, so this reason is not Suspect, Hoshishim? We don't
But
suspect.
yeah, we're not concerned. From this reason,
Concern.
also, that leads us not to be concerned about.
Okay. Also, let's see, Gam Kane. With what is not Ra'oi applied.
Or fitting. Roy is fitting.
Fitting. Okay, for the drinking of animals. Oh, then
Right.
it's
Remember,
Mhm.
one of the criteria was that a dog had to be able to be it has to be drinkable water for at least a dog, right?
Right.
So that criteria doesn't seem to apply in this case. Why?
Okay, so it says, let me see. Dizehu davka im nitkalkalu hamayim mitiv'an ad she'eino ra'oi lebehema. Okay, what this specifically
Right, because the pasul, the invalidation of the waters by the fact that it can't be drunk by an animal, that's specifically if there was some type of kilkul, there was some type of um, uh, degeneration of the water from its teva, from its natural state.
mhm.
Ad she'ein roy lebehema, until it's no longer fit for a behemoth to drink it.
For an animal to drink. Right. Wow. Masha ain kain bazeh.
Right. In contrast, this is not the case over here. These, for example, these worms, as strange and as weird and perhaps even disgusting it is for us to imagine, even if you would even look at the stuff, to think about using water that had worms growing in it. But there's nothing specifically being ruined about the water. That's where they simply live. That's where they grow. That's where they're hanging out. It's like you have water with fish in it. You have water with fish in it, so fish grow and live in water. So here also worms live and grow in water. So that's nothing changing in terms of the actual nature of the water. So therefore, that's not going to be a pasul in this particular case. Okay, but Baruch Hashem, as we mentioned, we're blessed in many ways that we don't have to worry about this. Let's go on to Memhei and Sifat Memhei in the Mishnah Berurah.
Okay, so mem hey im riskan v'chulei v'hamagen Avraham b'simen kuf samik bet katav devazeh chamir misheleg. Okay. So this if it was crushed.
Here the Magen Abraham in Siman Kuf Samik Beis writes that this is more serious than Shelig. Why? Continue on with the Mishnah Berurah. Wait a bit.
Okay, the af libol hayadayim bitochan yesh lahachmir im lo riskan.
That because by snow Shelig, even though you could actually toivel, you're not going to wash your hands with snow, but you could be toivel. You could immerse your hands in snow. There is to be strict with this and not to do it. Im lo riskan, if the snow is not pulverized, if it's not powdered, and if it's just a whole chunk of snow, you probably couldn't. You'd have to make sure that it's somewhat powderized, pureed, so to speak, the snow.
Oh. So if it's slightly melted and turned to ice, I guess you can't use it then.
Right.
Okay. Okay, it says, Ach, the visheleg mutar b'tivila b'tochan b'sha'ad hatzchak. Okay, so in case of an emergency, you're permitted to use snow. Kedil Kama, B'Sif Yudbet, B'Mishna Berura, Ein Sham. Okay, and as we'll see below in Yudbet, and the Mishnah Berura will look there.
Very good. Okay. We'll get to that as we see in the Kuf Samik base, Bezer Hashem. Let's go on to the Machaber again in Sifkat and Yud Aleph.
Okay, Yud Aleph.
Go ahead. You're muted, man, for some reason.
I must have hit my mouse by accident.
Okay.
Okay, sorry about that. Let me start over.
Yeah.
It says, Ma'im
Yeah.
sheyesh safek im na'aseh bahem malacha olav. Okay, so if whether if there's a doubt whether work was done with the water or not, o sheyesh lo safek im yesh bahem shi'or im lav, or it's doubtful if the water, I guess, is a good amount, shi'or or not. Im haim tmeim o tahorim, or if it's impure or pure. Osafek im natal yadav olav, and if there's a doubt if one already washed or not, let's see, tahor.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay, so let's right, just do the remark. Just do the remark here, and then we're gonna stop because it's a long machaber. Just do the remark here.
Okay, so so it's a v'chol safek. Oh no, hold it. V'chol safek tahara biyadayim, and all are doubtful if it's tahara, pure for your hands, I guess.
But anytime you have
tahor, then it is pure. Okay.
right, anytime you have a suffix,
There is a doubt or not.
time-
Okay, if there's a suffix, it
Right.
ends up
Okay,
it's considered clean. It's tahor.
right. Good. And the Mishnah Brewer.
Okay.
Sifkat and Mem Vav.
Yeah, let me just plug myself in before I run out of power. Okay. Mem Vav. It says safek im naaseh. Okay. So if one is has a doubt about whether all these I guess all these items apply. Okay. Hainu ben shenistapek achar hanetila. Oh, if it's doubtful if you did the netila, afilu kodem netila, or it's even before one washes hands. Let's see. Mutar lo litoyadav bahem. Okay, so it would be permitted to wash his hands with water. Okay. Im ein lo mayim acherim, if there is no other water. Okay, so once again, that's in a if you're in a critical situation.
That's right. That's right.
Okay, so Mem Zion says, Im yesh
Let's see
bahem
what it could be. Let's take a look at the Shartzian in Mem Zion, Mem Tet.
Oh, hold it, Mem Tet. Let me see if I can see that. Oh, it's on this page, maybe.
It's on the new page. Yeah.
Oh, mem tet. Okay, right on top there. V'yesh mayim acherim b'vaday yesh lehachmir lehatchila. Okay, so what if there is other water, b'vaday, what's certainly we are initially strict about it.
You definitely should be strict, ideally, to rewash. Right? If you can get hold of water without any doubts about it, do it. You must do it.
Uh-huh. Okay. Let's see. Digam b'diavad yesh mishomer sheitol sheni.
Right?
Yesh.
Yesh mishomer. B'diavad, right? The gam b'diavad yesh mishomer shitos shenis. Even b'diavad, there were those who say you should wash again.
Oh, there's some that say you should wash again. Okay. The Hagra Hevi Makor Lazeh Mitos Sefta. The Gra brings a source from the Tosefta. Ulechatchila Yesh Loma de Kulei Ama Modu. Okay, so and at the beginning it is to say generally.
Right. Litratila. Ideally, there is to say that according to everyone, that they would agree. Modu, Kuliama,
Oh,
Modu,
Modu,
everyone
they
would
agree.
agree.
Okay. The logo ra, the mai, the kaimalan, the ama de yesh lahachmir, the davar, sheyesh lo matirim shekeshehu, safek, afilu b'milta derabanan.
Right. That we definitely hold, right, that ideally you should be, according to all opinions, um, careful to rewash. That it's certainly no worse than why that we paskin in general, that you should always be machmir, po matiri, right? There's always, whenever you have something that will allow you to do something and you have a suffix in that, right? You feel about the Milsa the Rabbanan, shum yokul leos heter. You can always do it beheter. Afanami kain heroes. Okay.
Okay, mishum de hayachol asot beheter. Okay, hachi gamhu. Nami
Right.
gami.
So since you're able to go ahead and do it, beheter with full permission, uh, permissibility, then you should definitely go ahead and do it in a way that'll be allowing you to do that.
Okay, so just a quick question.
Yeah.
So you're washing your hands before hamotzi, and you realized that in your, because everyone's rushing to the sink and everything, and you realize that you didn't wash your hands up, to the right knuckles. So then what they're saying here is that you are permitted then to rewash your hands. And if you realize it's not to the right knuckles, you probably haven't said the bracha anyway yet. So you'd be able to rewash your hands and say the bracha, I guess, over the wash.
Right. Yeah. For some reason, if the washing that you were doing was not according to the ideal way of doing it, then you should, if you haven't made the bracha, then you can correct it and wash again. In fact, as a matter of fact, even if you did make the bracha, and there was something that was lacking in the fulfillment of the way you should have done it, you can dry your hands and rewash properly, even though you made the bracha, because it'll be a hefsek for the tzurach of the Suda in any event. So you still, as long as you're quiet, be careful not to talk out during that time period, but you'll
Right.
be allowed to redo your washing and wash properly.
Okay. So continue here with Mechaber on top. It says, let's see, V'yesh Misha Omer, She'al Kozot, Im Yesh Lo Mayim Acherim, Yito Yadav, V'yotzi Atzmo Min Hastafek. Okay. So there are those that say, let's see, with all of this, in Yesh Lo Mayim, if you have, I guess, other water,
Right.
let's see, Acharim Yito Yadav, he should wash his hands.
Rewash your hands, right? Definitely rewash your hands, of course.
Okay, and he removes himself from any doubt, I guess.
That's right. So you want to remove all yourself from any doubts. Correct.
Okay, so let's see.
Okay.
Nun
Well,
Aleph.
that's actually that's mem aleph mem mem ches akel mem zayin mem zayin mem zayin. Okay, I'll tell you what. Maybe it's best to stop here.
Oh,
We're in the
it's
middle. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
So
let's stop here. Well, we'll review the Mechaber tomorrow and pick up in the Mishna Berura after we do a review of the Mechaber. Very good, Mayor. Thank you very much.
thank you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you for helping me.
Yeah. Very good. Okay. Everyone should have a good afternoon. Hope to see you all tomorrow.
So fast.